family found this crying kitten while camping, and when they picked him up, they were horrified. When this family decided to go camping, they probably didn't expect to find a cat on their vacation. However, that's exactly what happened. A little kitten ran up to them from out of nowhere, crying for food. That tale of the kitten and the campers first appeared on Imgur in July 2017, uploaded by someone using the screen name Wrenhead. And it all began with the revelation that their family had decided to go back to nature. On the vacation, Wrenhead and their family had headed off the beaten track and eventually chosen to camp by a beautiful lake. It was a serene location for sure, but not everybody in the area was having a good time. That's because thereby there had been a stray kitten who had seen the campers approaching. The little cat then ran up to the family's truck and caught their attention with his crying. We walked toward the kitten and found him in the road crying, Wrenhead would go on to explain in July 2017 interview at the website Love Meow. When Wrenhead took the stray into their arms, though, they got a terrible surprise. I picked him up and could feel almost all of his bones, Wrenhead recalled to Love Meow. Indeed, although the lake had provided a good source of water for the stray, it seemed as if food had not been quite as plentiful. As soon as he was in Redhead's arms, however, the cat did something heartwarming. The moment I picked him up, Wrenhead said, he started to purr, and as the kitten had touched the family's hearts, they decided to go on looking after him during their stay. So, as the family cared for him, the kitten experienced love for perhaps the first time in his life. They cleaned him up and even fed him some tinned cat food to fill his empty stomach, which the little animal spent no time in demolishing. Then, when he was full and content, the kitten found a comfy spot to settle down for a cat nap. More specifically, he climbed up on Wrenhead's shoulders and went to sleep. They had no idea where the kitten had come from. For instance, there weren't any signs of other cats nearby either. However, there was still a possibility that his mother was close to hand. We laid food out for 4 days in hopes that the mother would come back, Wrenhead told Love Meow, but she never did, and as small as he was, we could tell that the kitten hadn't eaten. And not only did they give the stray a home, but they also gave him a name, Fancy. This was inspired by the lyrics of the song of the same name by Reba McEntire. We took him in and got all of his shots before introducing him to our other cats, Wrenhead added to Love Meow. And Fancy wasn't the family's first rescue cat either. One of their other felines, for instance, was an ex-farm cat that they had adopted and named Miss Helen, and adorably, she would form an instant bond with Fancy. According to Wrenhead, when Miss Helen saw Fancy, she saw a kitten that needed help and a mama, and that's exactly what he got with Miss Helen, who seemed to be happy to take him under her wing. What's more, Fancy's touching story has made quite a splash online. It has received over 102,000 views on Imgur, for example, and Wrenhead has been widely praised for saving the kitten. A lot of credit, however, has gone to Miss Helen for the heartwarming affection she has shown the kitten. I upvoted for Tiny Kitten, but I favorited for Miss Helen, wrote one commenter. So did Wrenhead and their family do the right thing when they encountered the starving kitten? According to experts, yes, absolutely, although this is perhaps thanks to their previous rescue experience. Newborn kittens, for example, should be taken to a veterinarian as they need professional assistance. Meanwhile, experts have suggested that when it comes to older cats, you should make sure they're not feral before continuing. The most important step, though, is to follow Wrenhead and their family's example and take the stray to a clinic. There, the cat can be checked for a microchip ID and given shots. And it's thanks to Wrenhead and their loved ones that Fancy now has a great home surrounded by a family of humans and cats. He even has a new mother in Miss Helen. When we found him, he was starving, and we could almost feel all of his bones, Wrenhead told Love Meow. Now, he'll be treated like a king.